What's going on, everybody? I am Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at the GG Bond 5-in-1 Combiner set. I think this was delivered to me from sirtoys.com. I don't know for sure because it's not in my AliExpress history, nor is it in my Sir Toys history. If it was from Sir Toys, then it was given to me. I didn't purchase this, so just beware of that. We have a stag, I think an eagle, a lion, something, and a bear. And all of these transform into robot modes, and then they all combine, because of course they do. Starting from left to right, we're going to start with the stag, or the deer, first, and it is a roadster of some sort. I mean, they're all roadster vehicle modes. Transformation into robot mode starts off with pulling off the back of the vehicle mode, then taking the legs and extending them, and just getting them unclipped from the side of the vehicle mode, folded down, snap them into place, and put out the feet, and turn the... Nope, don't turn the hips around, just leave them as is. And then come up to these sections here and fold these out to form the arms and flip out the fists. And I'm not going to lie, all of these have roughly the same, if not very, very similar transformations. And fold those down and around. And then grab this piece, which is the gun, and just put it in a hand. Either hand will do, if you can actually get it into one of the fists. Come to the top here and unpeg this section and not pop it off, but just unpeg it. And then it's supposed to turn around, collapse the head, fold the head up, and then the wheels will go from that position to that position. And that's pretty much it, except we have to fix the head flap and put that back on because I done darn broke it off, and then take this section and peg it in somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where it goes. It's probably going to go there. And if you're wondering, hey, why don't you look at the directions? It's because the directions don't show the transformation from vehicle modes to robot modes. It only shows the combine mode. And if you're wondering, yes, this does peg into the back with no issues, but there is actually an issue in that it gets in the way of the arms, so I'm just going to leave that off. And here we have the stag, or the deer, or whatever you want to call it. And it's a big blue dude with a gun. Big blue dude with a gun. Posability is weird. Head does move side to side, but you have to move the flap up and out of the way, otherwise it won't do anything. And then it's got the transformation. Arms are ratcheted, and in and out for the arms, and then no other posability there. Legs can kick forward and back, and squeak the whole time. Can kick out. I thought there was a swivel here, but there doesn't appear to be here, but it feels like there is one right here, just under the thigh, but I feel like I'm going to break it if I try to move it. And then there is a pivot here at the ankle. So there we have our blue deer. Reminds me of Transformers RID Thunderhoof. Next up is the big old bear, and this is my favorite vehicle mode. I think it is the most car-like, even though you have giant bear fists sticking off the side. Transformation is pull off the hammer, and then you got to disconnect the shell. So that's the first part of the shell. That's the second part of the shell. And then we fold out the legs and flip out the toes and do that onto both sides. And then we take the arms, fold them out, and rotate them down. And then for the head, we pop the backpack open, fold these little bits, these brown bits down, flip up the head, bring it into place, and it will peg into that peg right there. And that's the base robot mode. And we could give it his hammer, and that will peg into the inside of his palm, like so. And then the backpack will actually kind of combine together, and I keep forgetting how to do this. I think it is like that. Yes, that's it. And then this will peg onto his back right there. And just like the deer, you have to be careful because that backpack will fall off. But I do kind of like the bear mode. It works. It actually works. It's definitely the best looking so far. And then posability. Head doesn't move at all. Arms. Oh, yeah, I'm going to stop that. And then the legs kick it forward on ratchets, and then ratchets in and out. Bend at the knee, and that's about it. And then as I was transforming it, the backpack fell off. So we'll just attach that and then put it away. Next up is Space Ghost. I think this is supposed to be a Falcon. And it's got this fan weapon. It's weird. Transformation's very simple. Come to the back and unpeg the feet and fold them forward. Come to the front and just slide this piece back. It is supposed to be connected to this, but I find it just pops off all the time no matter what I do. Flip the claws back, unpeg the arms from the side of the head and fold them down, and take the head and fold it down and then push it down into the body. And then there is a little peg hole on the inside of the fist on both sides that could take the fan. And the fan's plastic is very soft, so just be aware of that. And then that's kind of it, unless you want to fold up the shoulder pads, which I do think look better like that. And then we could come back and peg this thing back onto the arm, and there we go. Easiest transformation, but hardest to keep standing because these toes are just a smidge too loose. So what I like to do is kind of just push the legs as far as they will go and then push the toes downwards a little bit at an angle. So then that allows the figure to stand a little bit better. And it looks good. The white, the red, the charcoal, and the yellow all work incredibly well. Posability-wise, head can't move at all except up and down. Shoulders, oh, they're the least squeaky. Oh, there's a squeak. In and out, side to side. There's actually a swivel on the elbows, but no bend at the elbows. Legs kick it forward and can kick out, and then forget about trying to pose the other bits because it'll just fall over if you do. Of the three thus far, it is the least fun to pose because the feet just have it fall over all the time. And it keeps dropping his damn fan. No matter how well this thing is plugged in, it's just going to fall off eventually. Next up, the green one, and believe it or not, this is a wolf. Okay, I think. So, transformation is first flip the arms out and unpeg the weapons, and then reach inside the arms and flip out the fists, like so. And yes, you can see the holes that are at the front of the fist. That's what the weapons peg into. Unpeg the toes from the backpack, and then flip the legs down, and the back of the legs peg into, there's a peg hole in there. There you go, you can see it right there. And hopefully I could do this transformation without any bits falling off, because things have a tendency to fall off on this one. And just getting this pegged up in here is all... So that was something that I wanted to talk about, but I was hoping I could get to it a little later. The screw that holds its crotch together is missing. So because parts of the legs are so insanely tight, it just has a tendency to fly apart at the seams, literally. So I end up having to rejoin and replace all the bits and hope that I could get everything to smush back together okay. And then that also leads into the fact that the legs or the shins don't want to stay pegged in to these peg holes without a significant amount of force, which sucks. And then trying to get these ball joints back on also requires a large amount of force. And the last part of the transformation is to unpeg the green part here and just fold it onto the back like that. And then we have what I'm assuming is actually a cat. Oh, yeah, we can either peg the weapons into the front of the fists like that, or we could peg the weapons daggers like this. Either way, I'm not even going to bother with posability because it exists, but it's not very good, and his backpack is so heavy and the ball joints are loose enough that he has a tendency to fall backwards all the time. So I wouldn't recommend this one. It's not a great one. Doesn't look half bad until you turn it around. Oh yeah, the butt skirt or the skirt on the back has a tendency to fall off real easily. That's because it's used in the combined mode for the front skirt. Ah, come on, stand up, you stupid thing. Okay, there we go. And finally, what I'm assuming is the leader of the group, the lion. This is a decent version of the Thunder Tank. Yeah, we'll call it the Thunder Tank 2.0. All right, it's transformation. Just pop the rear of the vehicle mode off and then unhinge the hip or the the bottom legs down like that. Bring out the arms and turn them around. And then grab the head and unpeg it. Pull it up. Drop the wheels down. Turn the head around. Bring it down like so. And we are done. So, this piece, you might think that it goes back here, and normally you would be right. I was trying to figure out if there's a way that I could get him to wield it as a shield, but I haven't been able to find if he could do that. The hand, only one hand can hold his weapon in for this guy, and the peg is collapsed a little bit, so getting the sword in here requires a bit more force than I care for. I would love if we could attach this to the outside arm like that. And that does stay there, so we have a sword and shield. It's not too bad. It works. It's at least one of the better proportioned ones. I think the bear is the best proportioned, but this guy's not bad. The set on a shelf by themselves doesn't look too bad, but man, as soon as you start picking it up and fiddling with them, they just fall apart or pieces pop off, they fall over. The set is not great in terms of quality. The plastic kinda sucks, and it's 1 or 2 steps above some of the cheapest quality plastic. Now, in terms of size, these guys are roughly the same size as a current Voyager class figure. Roughly. All right, let's go ahead and get these things merged up. First, we're going to take off all of the components and just leave the figures themselves. So, take off all the weapons. And no, I don't even need to take his off. His fell off. It's somewhere over here. And his backpack. And his weapon. And we'll start off with Lion and Bear. Just get his, and then we'll want to take his rear skirt armor off. And just leave everything off to the side. Okay, so for Bear, leave the legs like they are, come to the back and open up the backpack and fold the head down, and then come inside and flip up the little brown bits like we're going to transform it into vehicle mode, and get the head in here correctly. Get that closed up, and then come to the arms, turn them, and then collapse them like that. And the directions say to turn the fists so that they're pointing forward. And that's the bear done. All right, now we'll come to the lion. Take the lion's sword and its armor off. Take the arms, turn them, and then fold them in, and they will actually peg into place into a peg hole above the shoulder and in the armpit. So do that on both sides like that, and then take his legs and fold his legs back like that. And like this. And just stick them out to the side like that. Now, these two are supposed to combine, and the legs are supposed to snap on top of these bits. So I will actually take the feet and fold them up because they are currently getting in the way. And just snap these down into place. And oh, that is so much harder than you might think. All right, I got it. The problem was the plastic on the brown is just so dang soft that it didn't actually want to connect in there. I actually had to take my pinky or my fingers and just hold it while I pushed down the top part. So, okay, we got the first part done. Now, let's move on to Green Boy here, because if we don't, the entire thing is going to fall over if I try to put the arms on. So, to start off with, fold up the fists like that, and then put the canopy over his head like that, and then take the legs, rotate them around, and then just kind of bend them down and point them kind of like this. And the directions have you bending the legs kind of down like that. So we want the whole thing to be kind of like this. And then this is going to plug into Bear's butt. like so. And there we have this weird centaur-looking thing. And now it's just a question of transforming the deer and the falcon back into vehicle modes. So just get that deer back up into vehicle mode. And this is actually the hardest part of the transformation, is putting this thing back on, because, well, as you can see, things have a tendency to get in the way. And if I don't have everything perfectly collapsed, then I won't be able to slide this into place. There we go. Take the head, flip that around, bring it down, and snap that into place. Bring that in, bring the arms up, and whoop, turn the arms around. Oh, that sounds awful. And bring them into place. Bring that down and into place. Put his butt back on, and then flip out this combiner port, and then and the gun. Don't forget the gun on top. Put that gun there, and then put this off to the side, and bring out our Eagle Boy. Pull his head forward like that. Bring this whole section up and forward, and no matter what I do, it just pulls off. And then bring the arms around, peg them into place, peg that into the side of the head, like that. Do the same thing on the other side, like that. And fold the legs up and peg them into the skirt in the back. And grab the combiner port, flip that forward, and then reattach this thing, which you don't even need to have it pegged in. You could just pull it forward like so, and it'll just stay there, which is good. And then we have to put both of these into this thing. Pegs, those pegs that are open on the side. Please go in and don't completely break apart on me, please. All right, we got them all combined up, but we're not done yet. So first, the skirt and the armor, skirt of green, armor of yellow, peg them in together like that. And then this will peg in to, I believe, right here. Yes, there we go. And then, well, we have weapons. We don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with these yet, but turn the whole thing around, and flip up the wheels, and we can peg the bear head into the back there. And then down here on the green guy, we can take the bear component, and it's supposed to peg in right here to the back of the bear, and then it's supposed to also peg in right there. So I was pegging it into the wrong spot. There's that little opening at the crotch on green that you could peg the backpack onto, and then the hammer pegs into that, and then the sword pegs into that, and then these daggers peg into the sides. But as you can see, it's not exactly what I would call tight, because things just have a tendency to fall off. It's supposed to peg in back here, and then supposed to peg in up there. There. All right, here's the combiner. This looks absolutely terrible. This is dreadful. And it's barely posable. Barely. This sucks. I don't know what to say. This is terrible. Every time I touch the stupid thing, something falls off. Either a piece of armor falls off, the backpack falls off, the legs fall off, the entire thing comes apart. Every time I touch the darn thing, it just wants to explode. It's not good. It's not. It's not worthwhile picking up. Don't hunt this thing down. It's terrible. But I also kind of like it. It's just so incredibly stupid and so incredibly bad that it's wrapped back around to being kind of fun. Oh, it's a nightmare to get together and to get it to hold together and to get it to do well in just about anything, but I still don't hate it. It's just not good. All right, folks, that's it from me. Let me know what you think of this disaster in the comments. I've been Baltmatrix. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'll catch you later.